Hello, everybody. It's time for the Always Connected podcast. And isn't that a funny name? Because that's the topic of today's show. I have so enjoyed watching the chat on YouTube as our regulars in our Awaken Way community have gathered, knowing that we meet every Sunday here, whether I'm live or not. But today, what is today anyway? I'll look at my phone. August 16th, 2026, we are live. But it doesn't matter when you watch it. Hopefully you'll learn something today about the fact that we really are never alone. I was just thinking about that because sometimes we need our alone time, right? We need our me time. But that's not the kind of aloneness that I'm talking about. I'm talking about the fact that if everybody knew that we are all connected at the deepest level and that we have helpers in the non-physical realm who are always on duty. And my guides Sanaya are here with me, and they rarely let me use words like never and always, but they say that always connected is an always we can use because it can be no other way. And even though this is ultimately going to be a podcast with audio only, this video will remain on YouTube. And I have some slides to help you get an idea of this connection that we share, just some visual aids. So stay with me because I'm not sure when I'm going to share those, but they will help you get a concept of the fact that, first of all, why are we always connected? Because everything is vibration. You may have heard in certain spiritual circles, everything is energy. In fact, there's a quote attributed to Einstein about energy. And I'm not going to say it here. You may have read it or heard it, but I actually found out in my research, he never really said it. Nobody can find anywhere that Einstein said this quote about everything is energy, and that's all there is to it. There's more to it than that. But I know what he was getting at, that everything vibrates, and science has proven that. And if you look at something that seems to be matter, physical matter, under a microscope and go smaller and smaller and smaller to an electron microscope, ultimately anything that is solid disappears, and you just see this teeming sea of vibration. We can call it subtle energy, and that subtle energy not only affects us, but is us at the deeper levels. And everything that is vibrating is in communion with each other. We pick up on vibes, don't we? But that's just the basis of how and why we are connected at all times. Consciousness is the underlying fundamental base of our experience. I'm shifting from vibration to consciousness because we experience everything through awareness, our base state, and we experience differences as vibration. So consciousness is the underlying reality. Imagine a sea of consciousness or a blue sky of consciousness, and the vibration are the clouds or the waves. Those are two analogies that I'm throwing at you at once, but many people use those as excellent ways of understanding that all of us share this same sea of consciousness. You're a wave and I'm a wave, and our loved ones who have passed are waves. And for the purposes of this podcast today, that you are never alone, you're always connected. Your guides, those we call angels and masters, are the waves of consciousness as well, with their unique vibration. Everybody has their unique, I'll call it a ringtone, right? So as a medium, there go my guides. When I tune in to beings across the veil or to my guides in meditation, I'm tuning into a specific frequency, their vibration, and they're tuning to mine. And the more clear my vibration is, the easier it is for them to get through to me. What they just reminded me of, as I said, I'm a medium. There are many of you who know that I love to share what comes up in my readings. I didn't ask for permission yet to share what happened in my most recent reading, so I can keep it anonymous and just share with you that I felt prompted to gift someone a reading. I just knew it was a setup from their loved one in spirit. It was this person's child. And she asked if her husband and son could sit in on the reading. As long as everybody's open to mediumship, I welcome them. I tell everybody skepticism is fine as long as it's open minded skepticism. I can't prove anything, but evidence and messages that are meaningful to you that come through in a reading, that is what brings healing and comfort. And that's the goal of mediumship. So I did that reading just last week. And at first, the woman wasn't sure that her son was going to join us. And I wasn't sure he was open to it. And when he came on screen, he looked a little serious. And I thought, I wonder what he thinks about mediumship. And then I noticed myself thinking that and thought, it doesn't matter. So tuned in, and right away, the child across the veil was present with their personality so clear. And then a message for the son that had him just break into a great big smile. And once again, it was one of those moments when, okay, now he knows and knows that his loved one is still here. And for the rest of the reading, the three of us, instead of being mournful, it was a joyous family reunion. And that's the goal, to let all of you know that you are never alone, because even without these bodies, we are still right here. Because now's the time. Okay. The guide said, now's the time to show the slides, so you understand. So I'm going to bring up some slides here. I hope you enjoy them. Let's see if we go like this. If you're listening only to audio, you can go to my YouTube channel and look up this episode called You Are Never Alone. But I'm going to go back. I'm going to take that off a second because it went to the end slide first, and I didn't want to do that. Yeah, let's start with this slide. Here we go. Oops, where is it? There we go. So this is a depiction only, of course, of a human being in physical form, but look at that beautiful energy coming off the human form. I wish we could all see ourselves this way, with these beautiful colors and just these sparkling lights. This is you, everybody. This, I would call that your soul field right there. Your energy, human energy field, sure. But all that beautiful energy coming off you is a soul field. If the spirits tell me right now, when they see a being like this, that is someone who is balanced, clear, open, and ready to receive their messages. So if you sit in meditation, picture your energy field like this. You can see these energy centers going down the central axis of this being. We would call those chakras, the main energy centers where energy is exchanged with the entire sea of consciousness. And they're all aligned and beautifully shiny. Usually we depict them with colors, but really it's all light, and white contains all the colors, right, of the rainbow. But if a person were slightly gunked up, maybe some of those lights would be a little more dim than the others. Maybe this beautiful field that we're looking at would be a bit wobbly. But it's all vibration, and this is how we can see us when we're thinking about our own field. But here's another way of looking at us, maybe like little bubbles in the sea of consciousness. We still have this energy field depicted here, as if you can see it on the screen. But it's kind of porous, right? And look how everybody's interacting with each other. Now imagine if this is not just in human form, us interacting as humans, walking around in our energy suits, but across the veil as well. There's no division for those in the spirit world. It's all just vibration. So then the next slide shows, what if we kind of open even more, dissolve those perceived boundaries. The boundaries are here because we are sovereign souls, and at the same time, these teeming, individuated expressions of consciousness, these fields of consciousness that are interacting with each other. So now if you could imagine, what if each one of those represents a soul with a person that they are playing a role as? And then my final slide just has it all dissolving even more into one field of energy. As you look at this, drop out of your head where you're trying to think your way through the fact that we're always connected. Move down into the heart and the heart of the belly, and just breathe in the energy of what you see on the screen right now. And just feel the light there, and just feel that it's all joy. Joy being my word for source consciousness at its very essence. Can you just feel how, if you view the world from this wider open lens, the perspective changes and you can see how we're all connected. I hope you like those visuals. To me, when I sit in meditation and I just envision myself expanding, I don't dissolve into nothingness. There is still an energy field in physical form sitting in a chair as I meditate. And it's that not but. And at the same time, I am one with that whole field. This is why, excuse me, we are always connected and why our loved ones are here because their unique frequency is playing out in their field somewhere in this entire sea of consciousness. And when we come into a state of coherence, like that first slide I showed, just beautiful, open, balanced, and aware of our wholeness, boom, we can come into resonance with any other being with whom we resonate. So, your loved ones across the veil, most certainly, you have shared memories, shared experiences. And with your loved ones here in physical form, don't you recognize the shared energy you pick up all the time from someone around you? So, that is why you are never alone, because you're part of this sea of consciousness. Sometimes it's good to pull in your boundaries when others around you are buffeting you with their energy, and at the same time recognize there are others here who can help you come into balance. So I'll share with you that yesterday I was dealing with an issue that had me off balance to the point where I became very aware of a lot of sadness in my field. And I can see my growth on this path in that I didn't succumb to, oh, I'm so sad and woe is me. I felt it and I didn't give it real power. I allowed myself to feel it, but I also watched my language. I don't think I didn't say, I am so sad, but I said, there's awareness of sadness here. Can you feel the difference there? Why would I want to talk like that? Because I'm looking for guidance from my guides when I get in a state like that. I need some help. But it was so thick, that energy, that I had a real hard time feeling them all day, all day. But I turned up the love, I watched my thoughts, and I'm sharing this because this morning I sat down to meditate. I do that every morning and get the Awaken Way message for the app. And the second I sat down, here's joy. Now, what do I mean by that? Joy is the highest level of vibration that I have discovered I can tap into. And my book, Always Connected, contains a lot of conversations with joy. It just comes with a higher energy, a voice that is just so familiar yet so wise, I should say. And I didn't do any deep breathing and to go through my bless me method or relax. I just recognized joy is here. In fact, let me pull up my iPad because that's what I did immediately. I pulled up my iPad and opened up an email to myself because I knew a conversation with joy was about to ensue. I think I have it right here. Yeah. And the first words I typed were actually joys. Usually it's my words like, I can feel you're here with me, Joy. And the first words were, how's your life going for you? That came from Joy. I often say, how's that working for you? How's your life going for you? And I said, funny you should ask. Literally, now I sound like you. And the conversation went on from there, 25 minutes of direct guidance about what led me to those feelings of sadness and insights that, just like the book Always Connected says, I might have had a conversation with AI and described what's going on in my life. And there's no doubt AI can pinpoint your issues right away. But the whole point of knowing you're always connected to the ultimate source of you is don't turn to electronics first. Don't turn to technology. Go within and ask, what am I not seeing here? And at the end of the conversation, this big light bulb went off for me. And it all came down to this phrase. I'm sharing this because hopefully it's helpful to you as well, was I wish. Underneath my sadness was this underlying, I wish things were different. I wish something else were not going the way it's going. And joy, source, in that connected state, that naturally connected state, just said, but you're rejecting reality. What is reality right now? And it took me right back to this beautiful teaching I've shared many times. Wishing something were different is very human, but what is reality? That's reality. So what you do when you notice that is you change your language from I wish to I would prefer. And that just takes you to neutral instead of rejecting or sadness. I would prefer that situation not have happened and not be ongoing. And yet that's reality. Now, if I can accept that, like the serenity prayer says, wonderful. If I can do anything about it, all's the better. But if I can't, I would prefer it would be different, and it isn't. And poof, the sadness, the underlying sadness may still be there because I would prefer it. And at the same time, now that I put that out of the way, thanks to this guidance that's always here, I'm seeing things in a so much more peaceful way. And that's the subtitle of Always Connected: How to Find Comfort, Clarity, and Direction from the Spirit Within for the ultimate goal of peace. Those insights that come when we go within, when we know we're always connected and can turn to Spirit and say, hey, Spirit, what's up with this? Why am I feeling this way? Many times we know why we're feeling that way, right? But to turn and ask and know that at just the right time, okay, right, just the right time, the answers will come. Spirit just said to me right there, snag me. That was my guide, Sanaya. You needed to go through that to get to this underlying I wish thing that I wasn't aware was going on. I didn't realize I've been rejecting reality around this whole issue. So I hope that once again, my personal issues help you see some things in your life where you may be resisting reality and causing you angst. Can't change other people. Sometimes we can't change situations and illnesses and all of those things. We can find peace, and our guides and our loved ones across the veil know exactly what we're going through. So please talk to your loved ones. I have that book called Still Right Here. They really are. That's why I shared this story with you about this family member coming through from Spirit. The evidence shows us they're here. So what about those of you who just don't get guidance like I do? Well, it's a coming, right? If you're committed to it. I'm going to bring some of you on to ask questions soon, by the way. I see several of you, 4 people already in the waiting room. The link is in the chat and in the show notes. You can click that link. If you have a question about this topic, that's why I'll be bringing you on screen. But in the meantime, why some people may not feel it is just like I was yesterday. I knew my guides are here. I know people around, but I would not have done a reading yesterday. Let me tell you, I felt very disconnected because I was dealing with my human stuff and resisting reality. But I had a lesson to learn. So I wasn't supposed to feel connected yesterday. So it may not be that you're doing anything wrong that you don't feel your guides. It's that there's still some growth to be had, some things to see, some blocks to clear. So be excited that you're not feeling them yet, because if you know and trust that they're here, you can use me as a model if you need that. Then ask Spirit, what is it I'm not seeing in myself that may be keeping me from sensing the presence of higher consciousness in any form? Oh, the guys just said, let's do it now. We'll have a wild card moment at the end. And because it's a wild card, I have no idea what it'll be. But for now, just close your eyes with me if you're not driving or doing anything that requires seeing. Let's take a nice deep breath. Exhale very slowly. And the main key here is belief and trust that as we put a very direct question out to the universe, it will be heard. That's all we need it right now. We need it to be heard. Please show me in the coming day or days what I'm not seeing in myself, what thoughts or belief system I'm not seeing that may be causing any impediment to my sensing the presence of loved ones and guides. I look forward to receiving insights in any way you can get them through to me. Thank you so much. There we go. That is just a very simple practice, and you can see how we just did it on the fly anytime. But when you just pause and direct a very concise and clear question to spirit, trust that it will be answered. And notice how they and we said, in whatever way you can get it through. So some people think, well, if I'm always connected, I'm going to hear this answer like Suzanne does. Maybe, maybe not. It may take you a while on your spiritual path and attuning and learning to be still and focused to get to that point. It took me years, okay? But in the meantime, I guarantee you will be led to your answer. Either you'll read something in a book that you weren't planning to see and you'll have a huge aha. Or somebody nearby will say something that snags you and you say, oh my God, that's me. I didn't realize that's what I've been doing. That's blocking me. Or you already know the answer and it came up, and then you can just engage spirit and say, I already know what the issue is. Please show me how to deal with this in a healthy way, how to clear it out so I'm the clearest instrument. Do you see how this is an ongoing connection with those who are right here in your field for you? The guides just said, show that picture again. So let's bring it back to the stage. There it is again. This is us as these beautiful sparkling lights in one field or sea of consciousness. You are part of this. You're connected to all of it. It is here as your source. It's feeding you thoughts right now. So discern from that field what will best serve you in any moment. Awesome stuff. Let me look at my notes here, make sure I haven't missed anything. Because I want to bring some guests in. Oh, okay, I get it. Spirit just told me what the wild card moment's going to be about. That will be awesome. Okay, so stick around to the end, but for now, I'm going to bring on members of our Awake and Wade community. Will you please keep comments very brief and ask a question that pertains to this topic so that everybody will learn from your question. And I am going to tune into Sanaya to make sure the answers come from the highest possible place. So Rachel talked to you before the show to make sure you wanted to come on. So here you are. Welcome to the Always Connected podcast.
Hello.
Hi.
Gosh, sorry. That was an amazing opening.
Oh, goodness, a lot of emotion. So everybody take a deep breath with Rachel. Must have struck a chord there, right? Rachel, breathe deep, exhale. And what's your question? Feel the love.
Well, I'm not sure how I came across your books or even knowing that this video was on. I caught it a half an hour prior and clicked the link.
Well, you got your answer before you even asked it consciously.
It's been amazing. It's been amazing already.
See how spirit works? That's awesome.
But,
what can I answer for you now?
I would say that the last year of my life has thrown me into this spiritual,
Yep. I know everybody listening can identify. What's the question,
very
please?
Difficult. Prior to this year, I started to have all these things happening. I would be laying in bed at night and I could see light coming out of the inside of my eyes while awake. And there's just so many things I don't understand. So, I continued to see it and, okay, this is over about a 2-year period. I was living in a home that was very isolated. I had a real difficult life, but every time I went home, I had this space, and maybe that provided it. Well, eventually it started showing up like, okay, I could see things with my eyeballs while awake on the lid of my eyes.
Cool.
So I started to see images, and then I started to see just pictures, and then like ticker tape would go by with very detailed stories that I could not follow. Recently, I've had dreams that don't feel like mine.
Okay.
Lots of math. I had
Rachel, I got the big picture. What is the specific question?
I just don't know what's going on. I think probably the biggest thing that happened to me was what felt like an alternate plane, where I was in a meeting with someone someone entered into the room that I had to meet with later. And when I went back to meet with that person, that was not the person.
Okay, I'm going to put the picture. I'm going to put a picture back up on the slide, and because it answers your question, I'm going to go back one slide, I think. Yeah.
These were so moving for me.
Yeah. So what's happening is you opened up to the sea of consciousness more than just your narrow field. So if everybody can imagine that we spend most of our lives, I'll go back to the original one, just aware of our own field, like the picture you see on the screen here.
It's really amazing.
Yeah. And that's where we put our focus. But some of us have what we could just call this sudden awakening, the realization, I am not only human. I am not just this body. You had a personal experience of something beyond the physical senses. And it caused you to question reality. Now you know there's more. And so I love that I'm not feeling a lot of fear in you. There's uncertainty and confusion, but not fear. So go back to those images that I put. I'll put another one up because I just love these so much. Okay, look at this one. It's all this one here. We're all just light beings. Now, there are some people that are not filled with light. We know that. There are some beings that may not be of the light. But when you recognize that this field that I'm showing, the basis of it is light, claim that light as yourself, and the darkness doesn't have any power over you. So just keep doing what you're doing, and in that you're open to this when it shows up without fear. And now engage, say, and with interest and curiosity, what do those words say? I'm going to write them down so I remember. What is this light pointing to? What does this mean about who I am? And just embrace it. Don't let it knock you off balance. And dive in and say, wow, this is cool. There's so much more. How can I use this in service to myself and to others? Okay?
Thank you so much. Thank you for everything you do, and your clarity, your commitment to reaching as many people as possible. Thank you so much.
And what I also feel is this, your soul is just so eager for you to know you're not alone. This is the way the universe is showing you're not alone. Woof, goosebumps with that. And that often the crying that people experience in situations like this is because it's like, yeah, I'm remembering. I'm
moved, emotionally moved.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Thank you for bringing that energy to the show. Okay, blessings to you.
Thank you so much.
All right. Woo, everybody, let's take a deep breath. The challenge is that this energy, when we open up to it, can seem overwhelming. And that's why when we can take this slow and steady path, psychedelics can knock people off balance, can lead to what we call bad trips, because it opens people to this awareness that there's more all at once. It drops the physical filters. We are physical beings, but we're also vibration. And there's only so much of that vibration the physical body can handle. So it can be overwhelming. When you start to feel anything that's overwhelming in meditation or at any time, nice deep breath, drop awareness into the center of you and drop energy all the way down into the center of the field to allow an outlet for all that extra energy. All right. And then pull up fresh, powerful energy from Mother Earth. I say that with a smile because I didn't used to talk that way, but oh my gosh, her energy is beautiful and it gives us power. And then have the commitment to sit daily and build the power. Oh yeah, right. I was like, I don't have anything to announce this week, but I do. A brand new HemiSync recording came out this week called Trusting the Connection. It's my latest release, but it's number 5 in a series of mediumship recordings. And one of them is called Building the Power. What does that mean, to build the power? It's exactly what we're just talking about. Spirit is right here. Your loved ones in spirit are here. But we have to learn to moderate these filters of our physical body that keep us from sensing. And then once the filters drop, keep us from being overwhelmed. So it's this balancing act, and balancing the earthly energies with the cosmic energy. Spirit just said, do it now. We'll get to more guests in a minute, but let's demonstrate how that works. building the power and balancing the power so that you can sense that you are always connected. Let's just close our eyes again if you can do so safely. Take in a nice deep breath and visualize that image that I already showed on the screen of a physical body surrounded by this beautiful, teeming, dynamic field of sparkling light. That is you. And now that central axis is your connection to the whole sea or field. So imagine drawing up energy like a vacuum cleaner, right? Sucking up this earthly energy from the center of the earth to build the power flowing through your body, strengthen your body, like going to the gym, these exercises are. Pulling that up and flowing all the way through you and pulling down cosmic energy now. That's where the insights and guidance come from. Just imagine sucking that down and through the central axis. Both of those flows are going through you at all times in opposite directions, interacting within your physical being and your whole energetic field. But now simply affirm these two energy flows are perfectly balanced. Spirit, thank you for helping these flows to flow through me with balance and just the right amount of voltage this physical body can handle. May we turn it up and up and up ever so gently as I expand my light throughout my journey here. Wow. Thank you so much. That was a cool message right there, right? And that's what's allowed me to channel Sanaya more fluently, more easily over these past 15 years, 16 years since they've been coming through. It's building the power regularly. At first, Bev, my wonderful friend, is tuned in right now. She was there with me at the very beginning of this journey when I started channeling Sanaya. It was slow, it was stilted, but there were never really pauses. It was just me getting used to that power and sitting weekly, week after week with a group in Florida where we would gather for me to build the power. That fluency increased. Whether or not you're going to channel your guides, connecting with your loved ones who have passed and those in spirit is a matter of building the power. And part of that is regularly opening, balancing with intention the energy centers throughout you. Okay, so that is how the physical vessel becomes more balanced, open, and Spirit says use the word available to the energy that is your birthright. How cool is that? Okay, so I'm reminded I have guests waiting to come on. Joan, you ready? Yeah, let's add Joan to the stage. Welcome to the show. Hi.
So I've been going through some health challenges the last few months, one after the other, and I keep doing all the things you suggest. And I'd like to connect to my guides. I don't really feel like anything comes through. I'm 77. I was in nursing for 30 years, worked in Bangladesh and Honduras. And
wow. How interesting.
I think a lot of those experiences sort of closed me down.
Okay. All right.
I'm afraid to feel,
All right. Well, you just identified already. You already know what the issue is. All right. So, the guides just said it's exactly what we were talking about earlier. You already know what the issue is. It's already been given to you. And it's your task to, can we use the word work? Yes, work on clearing the fear. And as you do so through your own volition, by grace, that will clear. And you'll be able to sense your guides more. But know that they're right here. This is key number one, trusting you're being heard, whether you hear back or not. But your first
Because it's funny, sometimes I get the feeling that, okay, forget all this other stuff. Go and get on your horse, because I still ride horses. And that always makes me feel better.
Well, you found a tool to raise your vibration. So the first task for you is to sit and trust that you're being heard no matter what. Create stillness. And certainly we'll acknowledge that anytime somebody's dealing with physical challenges, that can block the awareness of a connection. Certainly pain and discomfort can. But when you're feeling open and comfortable, sit, and I would recommend to all of us, put your hands on the belly, the center of your physical being, and just use the words here, meaning here I am, the center of me. Picture that field around you. That's your center. Get grounded like we just did. And then use the word open, open. And then you can also use the word softening, softening. I just felt and saw a big sigh with you there, right? It's just like, oh, I'm allowed to relax. I'm allowed to be open. And in that open state, for you specifically, the next task is to say, Spirit, I trust you're here. I know I'm being heard. Please show me how to clear the fear. And then give up the need to hear the answer. But just like we did earlier, know that it's going to come and that you can ask that question daily. And whatever you sense in reply, use it and start to notice the changes along the way. Okay?
Thank you, Suzanne.
You're welcome. Blessings. And even if you don't get back on the horse, I hope that these practices lead to greater peace for you.
Oh, I will. He's my best friend and my psychiatrist.
Oh, awesome. All right. Thank you. Thanks for coming on. Bye-bye. All right. Let's see if I'm covering everything before I bring on the next guest. Yeah, that was one of the things we said we'd talk about, moving from fear to trust. Let's talk about fear for just a second here. No thought can kill you. Guys just said, say it again. No thought can kill you. Fear, we're afraid of being afraid. We're afraid of the thoughts that will come up. So what if, feel the excitement here, what if you face the thoughts that come up and they just go poof? I would love for you all to try that. Not right now, but sometime in the next 24 to 48 hours, sit quietly and say, I am willing to look at and observe my fearful thoughts and see them for what they are. And you will see that they are not a thing. They can't kill you. And if you look at them from the soul's open perspective, you may need to keep those hands on the belly and keep saying open and affirm, I am safe. They will arise. You'll look at them. You'll notice there's a propensity to want to stiffen, and you'll say, this is a thought. I'm curious. Look at it and watch it dissolve. Whew, talk about feeling lighter afterwards and a sense of freedom. All of this as a way of allowing you to be more open and be that beautiful field that spirit needs for you to actually sense them. They don't need it to work with you. They're already working with you. Trust me on that. But for it to be reciprocated and you to sense them, open, safe, curious, willing to allow anything to arise, and you're just going to observe it and let it pass like a cloud on the blue sky. All right. Nicole, would you like to come on the show? Yes, indeed. Welcome.
Hi. You answered already a couple of my questions, but I still have one.
Love when that happens.
When I was a little girl, I was ignored a lot. Like, I was put in foster care when I was born. My dad no-showed visitations. I wasn't welcomed when I was born into this planet. But strangely, I felt like I was never alone.
Huh.
I'm asking you, like, who was that? Because I was in low-income housing. I could have gone down a really bad path because I got attention from other people in the low-income housing. But something in me, I felt, little kid from born to 7, we moved to 7, said, maybe I brought you here.
Okay, I got an answer for you.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Go back to YouTube, everybody, and watch. You're going to laugh. Who was that? It was this. It was joy. The whole field saying, you are this. And it was your guides and angels shown in this slide saying, we are here with you. You are this. And it was everybody you love in spirit around you as one with you saying, you are this. And it was you as a soul, the soul of you, your higher self, saying, Nicole, it's all joy. And even though those around you are so constricted, they don't see it. You know it, and we're not going to let you forget it. It's all right here.
Thank you, Suzanne. I always wondered if I just made it up as like a coping mechanism. And now that I'm older, I don't have that same connection. But your previous discussion got me to get there. Open up, sit in thought, fear to trust, no thought can kill you, face the fears. Thank you. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Everybody, look at how Nicole is not playing victim at all. I wouldn't wish that kind of childhood on anybody, but she's felt that joy all along, and joy is us. It's within all of us. We can't exist without the field. We are the field. This is what Always Connected is trying to show us. So thank you for letting us to talk about it. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. All right. You can see I have my book dog-eared here. I went through this morning and I marked all the pages where it says your turn. And each one of those pages at the end of all of part 1 chapters has an exercise for you to experience this yourself. I thought I was going to go through each one and show you the exercises, but I'll leave that to you because that would take too much time. I'd rather get to the other people who are in the studio right now. Somebody just disappeared, but I see Judy. You want to come on the show? Yeah, and then we'll have a wild card moment after that. Sylvia, I'm sorry, but I still can't see your microphone working. Whoops, I didn't take Nicole out. Sorry about that. Hang on, Nicole. Smile, you're on camera. All right, there we go. Hi, Judy.
Hi, nice to meet you. I have a question. I started meditating through you for 6 years now.
Wow, good for you.
Yeah, and I do every day. I do the hemi-sync. I do everything.
Wow.
My question is, I began because I lost my mom and I want to connect with her. Which I know she's well and great, fantastic. But my question is, you shared once that you were doing mediumship, and you didn't connect with your Susan because it wasn't your time because you wouldn't have done what you did.
Yeah.
Right. Is there and now I do mediumship, but I have yet to connect with mom. And
well, guess what, Judy,
what?
You are not alone. Yesterday was my mom's angel date, 8 years since she passed. And I drank a margarita in her honor. She was totally the margarita lover. And we said, hi, Mom, and acknowledged Mom. And I honestly did not feel her presence. And I rarely do. And I'm a medium.
Okay.
Okay.
Right,
and
yeah.
I said, and I talked about this, and I said, I wonder why that is. I don't even know. And I'm not going to even make up an answer. I accept it. I know she's fine. Okay, yeah, it's what I said yesterday. I don't need her anymore. I know she's
Right.
joy. I know she's
Right.
joy. And I know I am joy. And I feel her love. And there's some things I didn't love about her way of being. And I have forgiven that. And okay, I just got a whiff of her right there. Okay, so yeah, your loved ones are so much a part of your field. They're us, right? Our soul family. If you go back to those slides again, how could we not always be connected to them? It's our human side that needs them to play that role again and say, Susie, it's Mom. Judy, it's your mother.
Yeah.
And so acknowledge her, talk to her, continue to talk to her. But
I always do.
Yeah.
Always. Yeah. It was just interesting. I thought, okay, so is it so I could do a meeting and then she'll come? And it's like, I don't know. It's like surprise, but no.
And look what you're doing, serving others through
Fact.
mediumship, right? And
Yes.
still meditating, even though you didn't feel Mom. That was your human goal that got you to this life of service. And how's your peace these days after meditating for 6 years?
Unbelievable. I have goosebumps. Unbelievable. I can just be in drama and go.
Yeah. See, everybody,
It's incredible to me.
Yeah. And it takes that kind of commitment. It is to do that every day, but it's not hard, is it?
No.
No,
it's joy. I listen to it while I'm cooking sometimes. It's just joy. So thank you. I just wanted to ask because I was curious.
Well, beautiful. Well, it's a lovely example for all of us that think that there's something wrong, and it's not at all. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Much love to all.
All right. Love to all. Yeah, let's acknowledge our Awaken My community tuning in live. I'm not monitoring the chat right now, but I know you're over there chatting away. So thank you so much. The regulars and the newcomers. Oh, she just dropped. Oh, no, you're Diana. Do you want to come on the screen? Yeah, okay, hands stand by. Welcome to the show.
Hi, how are you, Suzanne?
Good. Do you
I
say
am
Diana or
very
Diana?
Diana, that's correct.
Diana. Okay. How are you?
Yes, I'm doing good. So I a long time ago I listened to your to one of the podcasts, but the thing is, I used to meditate before going through many challenges, and then I felt really connected. That every time I would think about something, then I would feel, the messages, and then suddenly it's like it stopped. And I would even before I would even be able to tell my husband that was going through some stuff, say, hey, you can do this, you can meditate, that will help you. And he would tell me, hey, yes, I'm getting the messages, which is great. But for me, for whatever reason, for a while I kind of stopped meditating due to work and life. And I felt like I wasn't connected anymore, and I'm
Yeah.
trying to connect again, meditating again. And I told myself, okay, every day I have to make it a commitment to try to
Okay.
meditate. But it's like feeling harder than before.
That sounds like it. And I can feel it. So the question is, what has taken the joy out of it? I would suggest that you take something fun into every day. We're not just going to try and work at it and it's drudgery and I'm going to do this to get a check in the block. Let's just say to Spirit, let's all do it again. Okay. Let's just close our eyes for a second.
Okay.
Spirit, I truly want to connect with you. All of you, say this from the heart. If this is your goal, share it with me. Spirit, I look forward to the peace that others have experienced through meditation. I look forward to the guidance. I look forward to knowing we are all connected through sitting quietly and feeling that connection myself. I seem to have lost the joy in connecting. So show me each morning an intention I can take into the meditation that will make it fun and enjoyable and meaningful. I can't wait to sit and connect with the field of joy, however it shows up, as often as possible without making it a chore. Thank you so much. There we go.
Thank you.
All right. And then this will be posted immediately to YouTube. Just rewind to the end of the show here. We're about 48 minutes into the show, okay?
Yes,
48 minutes.
I do have a second question, though.
Okay, go ahead.
How do I know I'm on the right path?
Oh, let me tell y'all, you cannot be on the right path. You are where you are. It's absolutely perfect. Your foibles and your challenges have brought you to this point. The fact that you're asking this question means that your soul is nudging you to just do your best and shine your light. So how could it get any better than that?
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Just follow your heart.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Love that beautiful heart. Thank you. Bye-bye. All right, everybody, time for the wild card moment. Oh, I forgot to say, if you're enjoying the show and you haven't yet subscribed, please subscribe to the show and have your friends subscribe, share it with them till we get this algorithm pushes the show out to more people so they can find the peace as well. That's the goal, right? So I'm going to take that wild card moment thing off the screen. It's distracting. So the guide said they're going to channel a message for us, but they said to, okay, powerful. Be aware that the words carry a higher energy of great coherence, and that if you simply relax and breathe in the words, your field will come into coherence with these words. It's not that there's a transmission of healing. Your vessel, your field will balance itself as it entrains to the field that is being shared. How cool is that? So simply allow healing to take place within you as the words also speak to your heart. So let's see what they have to say. I'm going to invite Sanaya in. This is always a great time for you to be aware of the fact that as you become coherent, you can send healing energy to others. We've already heard of some people with challenges, medical challenges on the show. You're going to definitely get some healing, but so will all of us. Let's all be healers as I allow Sanaya to step in fully now. Good morning. You are this field of sparkling lights that you have seen? Have you not heard the expression, I am the light? We wish you to make this a daily utterance of yourself. I am the light. And when you become knocked off balance, and when you find yourself making phrases such as, I am sad, or I am upset, take away all that continues after those two very important words, I am, and simply be the light. You need not say those words, the light, to know yourself as this sea of light, field of light, whatever you wish to call it, it is your very essence. And in the depiction that was shown as a teeming sea of vibration, there were what you could envision as individuated lights. That is each of you as a focal point of the one sea. It does not make you separate. It hopefully will show you that you cannot be separated from the sea of light, for it is all light. And as you know, light is indivisible. This is why you are always connected. And so our task for you now, our challenge, is to see the light in those around you, to find greater peace. The goal here, repeatedly, it has arisen, is to become the clearest, most balanced and coherent expression of the light that you are, so that you become aware of guidance and connection from the light beings around you at any and every level. They are here. Do you understand now why they cannot be here, always present, always connected? Yes, they are in appearance, in awareness, separate. That is why you can have conversations with joy, even though you are joy, expressing through and as you. This is the paradox of being in form. But joy has arisen as you and you and you and this one for the joy of it. And it is not always joyous in human form. It can react in sadness and anger and many ways that cause the appearance of division and separation. But this is only an appearance, and it is only temporary, just as is fear and discord and disharmony. All eventually returns to the light itself with no contrast. But the life wishes to express itself in fullness, and therefore you have love, lack of separation, in full expression. L-I-F-E, love in full expression, is what you are experiencing now as life. And so we wish to leave you with a phrase that will bring you instantly, at least at the subconscious level, to the awareness that all is connected, all is joy. And that phrase is to look upon all others, and this is the key, all others, and say the phrase silently, there you are. And that you might wish to envision with a capital Y, as you often capitalize words that refer to the source, to the Great Spirit, to God. Call it what you wish. But there you are, joy, in form as that man. And there you are, joy, in form as that woman. And there you are, joy, in form as my loved one across the veil. And there you are, joy, as my guides. And look in the mirror and say, there you are. The more you practice this, you will come to bring what is subconscious to the surface, this awareness at all times, that it is all the light, that it is all joy appearing as this and that and that and this. It is all joy. And when you can look upon one who you may not like, you may not resonate with in their current expression as life, and still say, there you are, then you have removed a major blockage in your field that says that person cannot act like that. I do not like them. That may be a fact of resonance, and yet there you are, joy. I see beneath the role. I see it is all joy. This phrase is the great neutralizer and equalizer. It will bring great peace into your life. It will bring you back to the awareness of the soul you are instantly, for you cannot even utter this phrase without something within you recognizing your truth, the true nature that underlying all of the arisings of being in its many forms, both physical and across the veil, it is all joy. It is all the light, and you are that. And if you are that, how can another not also be that? If you look upon one who is acting in a way that disagrees with your concept of how joy would act, then what you are seeing is joy with overlays that have blocked the base of their being, with clouds that are obscuring that light within them. Can you see beneath the clouds and still, despite their outward behavior, from the heart acknowledge, there you are, joy in expression? I would prefer that that expression be more bright, more coherent, and at the same time I acknowledge it is all joy. We do hope that our words today, delivered in many ways to you and in many ways after this broadcast, bring you to a place of trusting the connection and knowing you are indeed always connected, for now you understand it can be no other way, which is why you are so very loved. Oh, nice. Very nice energy. I hope you all soaked that up. I know I'm going to be high for a good 20 minutes now and then come a little bit back down, but I hope we never come fully back down to earth. Sanaya just said you cannot. By the way, if you like that and you like the way that felt, mark your calendars. My first time to announce this, October 11th, I'm going to be doing one of my Channeling for Charity events where you can contribute the amount of your desire, and we're going to give 100% of it to the JED Foundation and the Association for something. Well, it's the Suicide Prevention Association. I'll get it figured out by October 11th. But you'll meet me here on a Sunday at 2:00 Eastern time for a full channeling event to raise money to help with suicide prevention. So again, mark your calendars and spirit will show up in force. Healing will take place for sure. Well, thank you all so much for joining me. What a way to start the day, huh? Some of you are in the middle of your day, some of you are watching it later, but in any case, I know we all felt the love. Hopefully you'll come to know more and more you are never alone, no matter what's going on in your life. I love you all. Thank you so much. See you back here next week.